There's been a ton of news that's recently come out about the return of Verdansk for Warzone in Season 3. While a lot of it has me excited and wants to jump back in to play Warzone, there are still a good amount of concerning parts about Warzone that I don't think are ever really going to change. And some of it is just absolutely frustrating that Call of Duty still are doing these same practices that they were doing previously. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and most certainly the ugly parts about Warzone Season 3. If you want to see more videos like this, like, subscribe, it's always appreciated. But let's get right into those details. So there have been some recent blogs as well as a podcast detailing a lot of information about Verdansk's return in Warzone. And it really does feel like Call of Duty is hitting like the reset button when it comes to making Warzone great again, which is very needed because the current iteration of Warzone just ain't it, chief. It just feels like the current iteration of Warzone really lacks those high intensity moments, those moments that you would always remember with your gaming experiences like we had with Verdansk at launch back in 2020. And with one of the most recent additions added to Call of Duty with Black Ops 6 was the Omni movement system, which I feel like it was going to be adding a nice breath of fresh air to kind of freshen up the gameplay a little bit. It just feels like it's more cracked out movement that just seems like it just isn't that fun to play with or utilize. Because a big issue I've been having with Call of Duty gameplay is that it just feels too cracked out. This clip from the YouTuber Strip I think really showcases what I'm talking about how insane the movement has gotten now in Call of Duty, where people were complaining about just slide canceling previously, but now you can just zoom all over the map. It just makes the gameplay less fun when people are doing this insane type of movement. Compare that to where I feel like Call of Duty was at peak, the classic Modern Warfare 2, where you didn't have people just sliding around like madmen or jumping around like craziness. Like any kind of player was able to just pick up a controller and start shooting, getting easy kills, which is kind of the fun of Call of Duty, right? That instant gratification. But the Call of Duty community has been so obsessed with extended movement in this game that now it's just gotten to the point where it almost feels like you're trying to play Titanfall in Call of Duty, and it's just not really appealing to me that much. But it seems like a lot of that is like getting reverted in the recent additions that are going to be coming in for Warzone Season 3. But it was actually recently revealed in this podcast that yes, Omni movement is getting a nerf in some kind of capacity when it comes to this Warzone Season 3 update. But it didn't really go into any specifics about what is actually changing, what is actually slowing down. But what it made it seem like it's probably going to be losing a bit of like a speed boost that you get from sliding around like a madman, making it so then people actually will just run on the map rather than slide around like some crazy cracked out weirdos. Big positive for me there. But what's the one consistent thing you keep hearing complaints about when it comes to Warzone? The cheating, right? It's everywhere. You can't get away from it, right? Well, it looks like with the recent blog update, they're making some significant changes with the Ricochet anti-cheat here. On this blog, they don't really talk about anything specifically about what they're actually changing when it comes to the cheats, but I think one thing they're looking to do is actually improve the efficiency of their reporting system. Because over 60% of received cheater reporting in Call of Duty Warzone have been against console players, meaning the majority of reports that they have to review are actually just people being mad that they suck at the game. But they're actually making a very significant change when it comes to the kill cams here for Warzone, because if you look over here on the right side of the kill cam, it'll actually give you the information that you need to know why you actually died in the game. So at least that might help with the accusations that are constantly happening in Call of Duty, but you know, they're still gonna happen. But the biggest surprise that I've been seeing with all the information that's been going out about Warzone Season 3 with Verdansk's return is that they're actually doing it. They're actually bringing back Verdansk in the proper way. We're talking like the original announcer. We're talking about shooting during free fall, which is something that I've always hated, but it's something about the game that was kind of like a nostalgic hit right there. The original infill cinematics, the original supply boxes, floating loot, and also armor satchels, the return of vertical menus, which I never thought I would be excited about a UI update, but Call of Duty's UI in the last few years has been really rough. I mean, like looking at this is a mess to look at. In this podcast, they also talked about the emphasis on utilizing vehicles and bringing back that experience from 2020, which is something that's been sorely missing for me because everyone's just been relying on this redeploy drones, which just completely ruins the whole purpose of like map movement and knowledge and stuff like that, where you can just zoom up into the air whenever you want and just kind of fly across the map. It just doesn't really lend itself to good gameplay, and also with these vehicles help lend those exciting, crazy moments that we're just not really getting anymore in Warzone. I mean, who remembers those times of loading up in a truck or a helicopter with the boys to be able to zoom across the map in some kind of fashion? Those kind of lend itself to exciting moments, right? Where you may get hit with some C4 and your whole vehicle explodes, but you had to laugh about it, right? Or you jump into a helicopter, you snipe someone out of it, like, well, maybe I did a couple years ago. There's another helicopter coming in on you guys. Oh!
You got him?
Yes! Yes!
Did you get him?
Yes, I sniped him out of the helicopter, dude. Those wild, exciting moments just don't happen anymore in Warzone. So that's why I'm excited about Verdansk coming back, but there are still some lingering issues with how Warzone is managed, and it's looking to continue on with Verdansk as well. Of course, one of the biggest issues with Warzone is the monetization. I mean, just look at this, it was recently revealed. Yes, that's right. The Rose skin is coming back to Warzone. That was like the original pay-to-win skin that every sweaty kid used. And why did they use it? It's not because they thought it looked really cool. It's because it was all matte black finish. It was really difficult to see in pre-patch. It was really difficult. You can see here in this previous clip from Exclusive Ace really showcased before they patched Rose skin. You can see how you can just hide in shadows. You would not be seen, where they added some lighting to it now, which hopefully that transfers over as well with Warzone. I would hope they wouldn't make the same mistake twice, but they're kind of actually doing that right now as well. Because right now in Black Ops 6 and current Warzone, there is a horrible hybrid of one, the Rose skin, which was dark and tough to see with a matte finish, you know, a hybrid with the previous Groot skin as well. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Why do you guys keep making the same mistakes? And that's the Terminator skin. This thing is a horrible hybrid of Rose and Groot. If you want to know what I'm talking about, this video from Exclusive Ace does a really great job. Can you spot the enemy player on this screen? You probably can't until I press play, and you'll see when Ace zooms in on this video on the right, yeah, there's the Terminator skin right there, almost invisible. You're like, okay, well, it's just in dark lighting, like that's why you can't see it, right? Well, compare that to this shot, which you can probably now see where the bad guy is on the screen right there. Yeah, that is ridiculously different compared to what the Terminator skin looks like. Like, pay to win is currently in the game still and looking to continually be in the game. And this is what I brought up earlier in the video, that you can't really change how the game is being managed and sold. Seems to be a reoccurring issue with Warzone, where they break the game with every kind of update that they decide to do to change the meta constantly, right? And then somehow, some way, find a way to package the broken thing in the game and sell it to you in a package deal in the shop. So when I see the Rose skin being part of the blackcell, the $30 battle pass for you to grind out, we're doing it all over again. It's happening again. They're gonna do it. Like, I just hope that they figure out the lighting with these kind of characters or this kind of situation. But there's always gonna be some kind of pay to win mechanic in the game where the sweaty people will just buy it. They have that in-game advantage. It's constantly going to be there. What's the other thing that's going to constantly be there for Warzone? The skill-based matchmaking. So you're going to have to rock your best loadout, play your absolute peak ability at all times just to be competitive in your lobbies. And while they said Battle Royale ranked play will be coming mid-season, but the thing is that, like, it's the same algorithm, guys. Like, it's still gonna feel like you're playing a ranked match no matter how you're playing Call of Duty, which I feel like it's going to lead to people being exhausted and tired of playing Warzone for so long, because it can be mentally draining having to be on top of your game that much. It kind of just reduces the fun and makes you have to go so competitive just to be alive in the match for more than a couple minutes. And also, you have to remember, they're still going to be using those same Warzone servers, which have been notoriously fantastic to play on because of the amazing 20 hertz tick rate that they use with these servers. Like, obviously with a large player count of 150 players, you're going to have to maybe lower that stress so that you can actually have it function properly. But the thing people are most used to when it comes to playing online is the 60 hertz server. Like, say for Rainbow Six Siege here, for example, uses 60 hertz servers. That's 3 times faster than what Warzone uses. But when you have players moving around this fast in Call of Duty right now, obviously Omni Move is going to be nerfed a little bit, but you can still do a lot of these tricks. I'm just worried about running at a 20 hertz server with the low life pool that you have in Call of Duty where it's so easy to get kills. I'm just worried that the snappy experience that you're going to need for a game like Call of Duty is just not going to be there. And of course, you know that these Warzone updates, they always go over so smoothly, so flawlessly, they just work, right? Unless you're back in January when Call of Duty had to do a massive update to the community back saying like, hey, we really messed up. Like in this blog, they mentioned that new content originally planned for Season 2 has been shifted to create bandwidth to address foundational issues with the game. Like, we're 5 years into Warzone and we're still having these kind of issues. That's wild. But don't worry, because you know that shop day one, especially for the blackcell, that's gonna be working flawlessly. I'm still hopeful though for the return of Verdansk in Season 3. I'm just hoping that Call of Duty and Activision look at this as more of an opportunity to hit that reset button for return that power creep that we've been getting as players for the last few years and kind of just go back to basics, get back to what made Warzone so much fun. And right now that nostalgia hit seems to be working. I have people text me that I haven't talked to or played with in a long time like, hey guys, Verdansk is back, the game is back, let's get you in, let's get the squad back together. So there's something there that gets people excited about this map returning. I definitely will jump in day one to play this, one for the nostalgia and two for you guys to talk about like if Warzone is actually on the return. But if you made it this far in this video, I hope I earned your like, maybe even a subscribe. If you want to know who the real ones are, leave a green heart in the comments to make sure I can know who made it to the end of the video here, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you missed any content from me recently, check out these videos right here, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.